Good morning. Today we're playing Escape From Tarkov with my Radio Master Pocket. EFT is one of my favorite games of all time. I've been playing on and off since around Wipe 9, but that doesn't mean I'm good at the game. EFT recently launched version 1.0 after 8 years of development, and this sent the modding community into a frenzy. Modders were able to create new weapons, new NPC interactions, and FPV drones. I wanted to test out the FPV features and functions with my Radio Master Pocket, but I had to jump through a circus level of hoops to make this work. So in today's video, I'll go through how you can connect your EdgeTX transmitter to your PC and use it as an ordinary gaming controller. Keep in mind that most dedicated simulators, like Liftoff, natively support transmitters as input methods, but this workaround allows you to use your transmitter for any game. So the overall goal here is to take the Radio Master Pocket, take Tarkov, and get them to talk to each other. The problem is that Tarkov doesn't support controllers, but that's an easy fix because launching the game through Steam converts your controller inputs into what's called X input, which is Windows Game Controller API. To add a game on Steam, go to Games, add non-Steam game, and then find the exe of the game you're trying to launch. So now we're good to go, right? Wrong. Because although Steam does recognize that my Radio Master is plugged in, we're not able to assign button presses to it. The thing about transmitters is that every button and switch is an analog input, meaning it has a gradient from 0 all the way to 2000. You can see this in Betaflight. Your sticks will detect as an analog value from 0 all the way up to around 2000, as will your switches, as will your button presses. So what we need here is a middleman to read your transmitter's analog inputs, convert them to a digital value that Steam can read as an individual button press. What UCR does is it takes any input that you have, be it analog or digital, and it's able to convert it to any other input. Pairing this with a virtual joystick like vJoy allows full integration into Steam. There are a few different versions of UCR. The one that I'm using here is by Evil C. You can find his files in GitHub. The second piece of software is vJoy. I will have that linked as well. It is from SourceForge. Now vJoy comes with a couple of different programs. What we are using here is vJoy Monitor. So a few things with the user interface here. This dropdown allows you to pick what you are remapping. Everything on here is an analog input, so it's detected as an axis. So in order to have buttons, we need to do axis to buttons. And the first switch that I'll be configuring is SB to buttons A and B. SB has two states, low and high, and this part is a bit of a guessing game where we have to figure out where SB is connected. Two parameters, your stick and your axis. Just go down the list. SB is mapped to stick 1 axis 4. You can see it switching. And we are going to go ahead and select our low and high output. All of our outputs will be mapped to vJoy stick 1. In this case, I will have button 1 be A and button 2 be B. And then if you flip SB, you should see the vJoy monitor buttons 1 and 2 light up. We're going to do the same thing with SC, and this will be our X and Y buttons. And now we have A, B, X, and Y figured out. So the next parameter we're going to input is axis to axis, and we have to do this with every axis of our joystick. That is throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. Now there's one caveat. I've already tried this with Tarkov, and I know that the throttle starts halfway. I want it to start at the very bottom. So specifically for the throttle, what I'm going to do is use the axis splitter. I'm going to use just the first half of the throttle in order to fly the quad. Throttle, pitch, roll, yaw. And here's what my final UCR configuration looks like. If you need to, you can set up your other buttons as well if your game has more inputs, but this is all that I need to have this work with the Tarkov FPV mod. Now that we have vJoy configured, it's time to set up vJoy in Steam. Go to Steam, Settings, Controllers, and the one we're looking for is the virtual joystick. You should have a button here that prompts you to begin the setup. And now it's asking us to press the A button, which is SB down. B button is SB up, X is SC down, and Y is SC up. The rest of the controller setup is pretty self-explanatory. Just skip the buttons that you don't need and map the ones that you do. And then you can make sure that everything works. Our throttle looks like it's inverted. A works, B works, X works. So our throttle is inverted. Go ahead and uninvert that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you are ready to start gaming with your Radio Master Boxer. I would not recommend this as a simulator. Tarkov costs $50, and I had to do a lot of fidangling within the mod to get the drone to fly properly. I'm used to a 5-inch quad, and here are my settings within the mod. That being said, it's still a lot of fun to fly around and explore the maps that you're used to from the sky. If you find an easier way to do this, please let me know. Also, let me know what games we should try next. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.